Hey guys, Sherri Fox here. Thank you for tuning in to What the Fox. Today I'm going to show you how to fill nail holes and cracks in your baseboards with these simple tools. Here you can see we have a couple of nail holes along with a crack in between the shoe molding and the baseboard. It's easy enough. We just take a little bit of our putty on our finger and you'll fill these nail holes. Doesn't have to be completely smooth because you're going to go back and sand this. You just want to make sure and get it in there, and you may have to do this another time. We'll just have to wait and see how it sands out. Okay, now that our putty is dry, you want it to be dry to the touch, that way it is sandable. I use a block sander. It's just easier to work with. Pick them up at any hardware store, but we'll just lightly hit it. Just keep sanding it until it's smooth, and you kind of want to feel with your finger rather than go by looks. That way you can tell if it's smooth. And these two seem to be pretty smooth. Now that we have sanded our holes and they are nice and smooth, we're going to go ahead and fill the crack in between the baseboard and the shoe molding. We will also need our caulk gun. And if you'll look, there's a spout cutter on the caulk gun. When you squeeze the handle, there's actually a blade so that we can cut the tip of the caulk. And what you want to do is you want to stick your caulk right in the spout cutter and make this as large as you want, depending on how big you want your bead of caulk to be. So we just kind of want to take the tip off a little bit, kind of at an angle. Has a little bit of an angle on here. Okay, on the side of your caulk gun, you will see this metal rod. What this is for is so after you cut the tip off of your caulk, you will actually insert this into the tip. And you'll just do this a few times because what you're doing is you're puncturing the caulk so that it will come out. Just kind of wipe that off. Okay, once we have the caulk open on your caulk gun, you're going to pull back on this metal rod. You have to twist it so the teeth are exposed on top, and then you'll pull back, which opens the caulk gun so we can place our caulk in there. I like to put my caulk with the angle pointed down, and then you will take this metal rod, turn it to where the teeth are down, and you'll hear a clicking noise until it touches the bottom of the caulk. Once our caulk gun is ready, what we're going to do is you just lay it here in the crack and just squeeze firmly until you see the caulk start to come out, and you'll just make a nice, smooth, steady line all the way down the crack. So what you're also going to need is a bowl of water and possibly a rag. And you just want to put a little water on your fingers. Don't ever touch the caulk with dry hands. It just won't smooth out correctly. So then you'll just take your wet finger and you just lightly run it all the way down the caulk. And as you can see, it just makes a great, nice, smooth line. And you just kind of wet your finger again and make sure you get the excess off that may be below or above where you have caulked. because this is really, this step right here is really where you're going to get a very pretty finish work. Don't want to touch it with your dry rag, only with your wet fingers. Okay, here you can see we actually have gotten to the corner. Same concept. You will just take your caulk, you'll lay just a small bead of caulk where the cracks are. And you'll use your water and you just smooth. That's it. Just remember to keep wetting your hands each time you touch the caulk until you get it just right and smooth as to the way you want it. So we will just let all of this dry for about 20 or 30 minutes and then we'll paint it. Now that our caulk is dry, if you'll look, you can still see a couple of nail holes, but they're smooth to the touch. It's just you can see them because we haven't painted it yet. Now this baseboard and shoe molding have been painted before, so what I like to use is an angled paintbrush. As you can see, we've been painting with it, but it's a little handheld, just they're easier. I like them. And we will just put just a light coat. Make sure you go over the nail holes and of course over the caulk because the caulk is bright white. Thanks guys for tuning in to What the Fox.